Good morning, Hustle Nation. Today we're talking about guilt by association, 5 tips for networking with the right people. We all know the power of association and that we should be redrawing our circle every 5 to 10 years, getting around people, elevating our sphere of influence, but sometimes we just don't know how to do it. So we're giving you 5 tips based on the #1 New York Times bestselling book, High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard, on how to redraw your circle. So do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand for a free business shout out. Just don't share any links and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and kick off the Cortez Hustle Show. Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show this morning. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from monetizemylifeacademy.com, the premier digital marketing mastermind for new to intermediate entrepreneurs who are trying to figure out how to build and grow an attractive, profitable, and powerful online brand. Go to monetizemylifeacademy.com to check that out. The question of the day is, if this were your last day on earth, would you have the same plans for today? If you enter QOTD along with your answer, then you get entered into a drawing to win a free vacation. And we do that live drawing on Wednesday. So today at noon, somebody's getting a free vacation. So the question of the day is, if this were your last day on earth, would you have the same plans for today? Answer the question of the day. Comment where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. And let's talk about guilt by association. 5 tips for networking with the right people. How do you upgrade your circle, right? So this is what we're talking about today. Good morning, Yvette. Good morning, Phyllis. Let me know where you guys are from as well. We got Federal Way, Washington in the building. All right. So before we get the show started, I got a couple of announcements for y'all. Hey, listen, real quick, man. If you guys are loving and digging what you're getting from the show, then I want to invite you guys to become a supporter of the page. For $5 a month, you can join Hustle Nation. That is my private exclusive group for those who really rock with your boy and support the show. So I'll drop the link in the comments for you guys to become part of Hustle Nation. And it's just basically a supportership through Facebook right here. Also, if you are trying to figure out how to turn your gifts, your talents, your special abilities into a profitable online business, then just know and understand that I got you covered. In fact, I so got you covered that I want to give you a copy of Monetize My Life. Yes, my free book, my book for free, along with a free course to help you on this journey. All you have to do, my friend, is comment free book, and I'll make sure you guys get the link for that. You guys know I've been working with single moms and helping single moms get to financial stability, and I'm still looking for a few single moms who want to save money, make money, and grow their money. So if you're a single mom and you want to save, make, and grow your money, then comment single mom, and I'll share some information with you over at myperfectmoneyplan.com, how we put this whole thing together to help single moms get their issues on. Also, the blog is up and running. I've got great sponsorships and great advertising options for you entrepreneurs out there who want to grow and expand your business. Let's talk about that. And just comment sponsor in the comments. So drop the name of your business down or your brand. Just don't share any links. That kind of slows down the feed, and Facebook pushing it out and that kind of stuff. So we share the links after the show. So I start every show off with a quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. Wherever you see greatness in public, it's a consequence of hunger in private. Wherever you see greatness in public, it's a consequence of hunger in private. Dr. Darius Daniels. My question to you, ladies and gentlemen, how hungry are you in private for the things that you say you want? Right? Great quote from Dr. Daniels. You've got to be hungry, as my man Les Brown would say. And really, that is the driving force, right? And then if you are hungry and you're trying to get from level to level, then you have to understand how to fabricate that hunger and stay hungry even when you're full. See, that's the key. That's the key. Sometimes we get full or we have something on our stomach, so we're not hungry, we're not starving. Therefore, we don't do the things that we know we need to do to get things done. So you start having a little bit of success, you start feeling full, but you're not anywhere near where you want to be. Do you know how to fabricate that hunger in your life? Right? One way I do that is by constantly moving from one pond to the next. Right? If I start becoming the big fish, then I got to go to another pond where I'm the guppy, and that keeps me hungry, right? So make sure that you're hungry in private, and then as you start to have some success, you got to know when to fabricate that hungry, right? Put yourself back down the totem pole so you're hungry to keep climbing up to the top of a new ladder. That is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by Monetize My Life Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you want to be part of a mastermind group where we talk and teach all things digital marketing, brand building, social media, then you, my friend, want to go check out monetizemylifeacademy.com. So we're talking about guilt by association. And as I'm studying to become more, right? I'm studying High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. And I wanted you to really get that phrase. I'm studying to become more, right? See, I've got aspirations of having more, but I can't have more unless I do more. And I can't do more unless I become more. So I'm studying to become more. And one of the high performance habits in this book is all about raising your necessity, right? We just talked about hunger, right? Right. We need to raise our necessity to where we go from a I want to until I must do. Your ambition has to go from just that ambition to a burning desire. See, high performers literally can't breathe unless they're doing the thing that they want to do at a high level. Have you gotten to that place yet? They raise the necessity and make the want into a must. And I want you to think about this in your life. We've all done this before. There have been things in our lives that we wanted to have. And then there are things that are in our lives that we must have. Guys, I want you to say what you do and the name of your business and on your brand without putting links to websites in the comments, right? I want to give you a free business shout out, but I don't want you, flooding the thread with links to websites and that kind of stuff. So we've all had things that we wanted in our lives, and we didn't do the things that were necessary to get them. On the other hand, for whatever reason, there was must-haves in our lives. Man, I just got to have this, and I don't know why or what made it a must-have, where the motivation came from, but that must-have got accomplished, didn't it? So in this book, High Performance Habits, he talks about looking at everything in your life and wondering, where is the necessity? Is it a must that you build your personal brand, or is that just something you want to do? Is it a must for me to build a media company that will surpass Ted Turner and Walt Disney one day, or is that something I just want to do? See, when it becomes a must, when you raise the necessity, only when you raise the necessity, only when you cultivate that hunger, only when you're starving, will you actually navigate through the BS. It's when you're starving that you will do whatever it absolutely takes, whatever is necessary. And I'm telling you here today, one of the things that you got to raise your necessity about, one of the things that you got to absolutely get hungry for, one of the things that you got to be starved to do is to get around winners. That, ladies and gentlemen, has to go from, man, I would love to be around some millionaires. Man, I as I'm building this media company, man, and getting into this digital marketing space, I would like to be around some people who are really doing it at the high level. No, it can't be I want to. It can't be I would like to. It can't be a hope, a wish, or an aspiration. It has to turn into a burning desire that you are starved for. And when it goes from wish, hope, dream, aspiration to a burning desire, then you're going to put forth the effort persistently and consistently to get yourself around the right people. Guilty by association. That is both a good thing and a bad thing. See, when we talk about guilt by association, normally that's a bad thing, right? Normally it's a bad thing. You're guilty by association. You are hanging out with those guys who robbed the liquor store. So chances are you're a liquor store robber yourself. Even if you didn't rob that liquor store, because you hang with these guys, I can see you one day robbing a liquor store, right? Guilt by association. You might not have been smoking the blunt with your homeboys, but you were around while they were smoking. And when you came into the house, you smelled like you needed some chronic killer, Yvette. That's what you smell like, right? You were not partaking, but because you were hanging with and the scent of what they were doing got on you, when you showed up, you smelled like, so you're guilty by association, even if you were not partaking of the sticky icky icky. But you're guilty by association. Well, the same is true in the positive sense. Now, our parents tried to help us with this, and they told us who not to hang with. And they were trying to tell us to hang with this crew or that crew. And what did our parents know back then that we didn't know? They knew the pedigree of the child or the children in the community. I want you to think about this. When your parents said you probably should hang out with a guy like this or a gal like this, chances are they didn't know much about the kid, but they knew that kid's pedigree because they knew that kid's parents, right? So we couldn't see it. We said, you want me to hang out with that dude? You want me to hang out with that gal? They lame. Your parents knew the pedigree, right? And they wanted you to be around people who may not have been exhibiting greatness at the time, but at least around the people who had or come from great pedigrees, right? So your whole mission, what you have to develop the hunger for, you got to develop the hunger for getting around the right people, the most successful people that you absolutely can, the people who are doing it at a high level. I can't tell you, right, how I'm guilty by association because I hang around people like Evan Jefferson, right? I hang around people like Yvette D. Best. I hang around people like the Sheroes of the world, and everybody already thinks I'm rich. Like, not yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But I'm guilty by association because of the richness of my associations, the people that I hang with, the people that I bring to this show, the people who I engage with on social media, right? You got to understand that they say success leaves clues. Success also rubs off on you, literally, right? How does that work? We have something in our body called mirror neurons. Mirror neurons. And it's a mechanism that has built into us because of the way God created us to be interdependent one with another, right? This God created us to be interdependent. That's why we're social beings. That's why when I would go to Mississippi, because I was born in Tupelo, so when I would go to Mississippi for the summer as a kid, I would come back after those 3-4 weeks, and all of my friends in St. Louis be like, "Man, you talking country?" I was like, "What do you mean I'm talking country? I'm talking like me," right? So what happened was, when I went to Tupelo for the summer, and I started to hang with the kids in Tupelo for the summer, because we are social beings and I wanted to fit in order for me to be safe, because genetically and historically as people were safer in groups. So when I would socialize with the kids, I didn't know what was happening, but my body, my mind, my physiology was mirroring the people I was around the most. And in order for me to fit in, it didn't want me in those crowds talking like a city boy, so I would be considered an outcast. So automatically my subconscious mind started to alter the way I said things. It started to alter the way that I behaved based on the crowd that I was with, so that I would fit in. They're called mirror neurons. You literally start mirroring the behaviors of the people that you spend the most time with. So if you spend a lot of time with negative people, because it is right. Think about it like this. What do they say about if you go into the wrong circles speaking proper English, you're going to get razzed because you're different. And they're going to say, man, get out of here talking like white folks. Get out of here talking all proper, talking like you're educated. Why can't I just be educated? And if I continue to hang around those people, my nature says I want to fit in. I don't want to be razzed. So my physiology will literally start to mirror the people that I'm hanging out with. I will start to filter the words that before they come out of my mouth and say, nope, I don't want to say it in proper English. I need to break that a little bit so that I don't get razzed and I fit in. Well, we live in a universe of duality, ladies and gentlemen. So just as there is a positive effect and positive peer pressure, there is also negative peer pressure. We're going to talk today about some things that you could do to get yourself into the circles that where people will push, motivate, encourage, so that you can start mirroring, right, some of those things, and you can not do what they do. You can literally become as they are. And that's the game plan. But before we get into that, man, we've got to run through 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. That's where we play a 1 minute motivational clip. You write down a takeaway or two. I'm going to give you a takeaway or two and then share that with you. And of course, we'll shout out our sponsor as well. But I am super stoked about this particular segment. And it's become one of my all-time favorites right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. So let's get into 1 minute motivation.
Life you're in. Number one, you have to own your own happiness. Take it away from other people demanding that they make you happy.
Happy, beautiful people. You've heard it, right? We're to be vibrant people. We're to be happy people. We're to be joyous people. But that doesn't happen by itself. What we have to do is we have to try. And the reason we have to try is because life gets in the way.
All of us have within us this amazing capacity to manifest and attract anything that we want into our life.
You're a seed. You are full of gifts, talents, potential. But if you plant yourself in unhealthy soil, if you hang around friends that compromise and pull you down, if you're in an environment that's limited with people that tell you what you can't become, you won't see the growth that you should.
You are love. You are divine. Put that into your imagination. I am well. I am happy. I am content. I am fulfilled. Even if your senses tell you that you're depressed.
I have the power. I have the power to make this happen. I have the power to create this. I have the power to attract this. I have the power to save my relationship.
Hoo-wee. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Man, 1 minute motivation, ladies and gentlemen. It is so important for you to be intentional about at least some of the things that you consume, right? I try to be intentional about all of them, but at least some of the things you consume, you want to be intentional about putting the right stuff in your head. He said, man, take your happiness from other people. Stop making it other people's responsibility to bring you joy or make you happy. That, my friend, if you haven't figured out by now, is an inside job, point blank and period. No one else can make you happy. That's an inside job. He also said, you are a seed. And if you plant yourself in the wrong environment, in the wrong soil, that's going to be to your detriment. And that's what we're talking about today. How do you get yourself in the right soil, right? What do you get? How do you find the healthiest environments that you can put yourself into, right? We are all a result. When you were saying, I am powerful, you were saying, I am, right? The power of I am. How many of you guys are really using the power of I am? Give me your best I am statement, right? That you're telling yourself over and over, because we are all a result of the narrative that we replay in our heads over and over and over and over. What is your I am? I am great. I am powerful. I am successful. I am a winner. What is your I am? That is 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by Shiro Global Enterprises. If you guys are not connecting with the Queen and you need help with your branding and your marketing and all of those things, then you need to check out Shiro Global Enterprises and her new Facebook group, the Get Money Gurus. Check her out right here on Facebook. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about 5 tips for redrawing your circle and networking. But before I get into that, I want to set the stage, because one of the things that we have to be okay with is the fact that some of the people that you are disconnecting from to an extent, or reducing the amount of time that you spend with, they're okay because they're not trying to go where you're trying to go. I think we get so caught up in our circles. Hey man, what's going on? I see you on YouTube. We get so caught up in trying to elevate the entire circle, right? I remember when I lost my brother when back in '96, right? And I was living in New Orleans at the time, and I moved back to St. Louis. And I started a group with some of my closest friends, and we called ourselves the Fam, right? And I just remember wanting to elevate that entire group. I was trying to sell them on my vision of what I thought we could be and what we could do. And I wanted to go down this positive road, right? But all of them didn't want to go in that direction. And I harbored guilt for a long time for walking away from that circle and going to do me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's one thing that you have to get over, is everybody ain't trying to go. Now, here's another thing that you have to get over the guilt of when it comes to, hey, I'm moving forward in my life. I got some dreams, some goals, some aspirations. As much as I would love for you to come with me, I can't wait on you. And here's what makes that so difficult. Some of the people that we have to spend less time with in order to make room in our lives for new people, these people have literally been with us in our darkest moments. I've got a friend named Tobias, and when I lost my mind, literally, he was one of the catalysts to get me the help I needed to recover, right? And I wanted so bad once I recovered and I start building, and I still want for him to be a part of what I'm doing right now, but he don't want no parts of this life. So I could not stay and hover over Tobias, even though he helped me through one of the darkest times in my life. He was there. He was a rock. He was a pillar. I couldn't hover and wait for him to want this, because guess what? He might not ever want it. So I had to move on, spend less time with him and more time with guys like you. Right? And we've got to be okay with that. I know you got a homegirl who was right there by your side, and when you were going through that domestic violence situation, right? When you dealt with the sexual assault, you got homeboys who may have taken the charge for you. You got homeboys who may have stepped to somebody for you. You got homeboys who may have literally saved your life in the streets. You got family members, right, who defended your honor and your integrity. But as you grew, they didn't, or they didn't grow in the same direction. And you got to be okay with saying, hey, listen, here's where I'm going, and you have an open invitation, but I'm out of here. You got to be okay with that. All of my homeboys know, if they ever want to come and get some of this online money, if they ever want to start building businesses based on their gifts, talents, and special abilities, if they ever want to start telling their stories of how they overcame the street life, they ever wanted to get into personal growth, self-development, coaching, speaking, if they ever want to do it, I'm right here. I'm right here. But I couldn't hover in that circle, in that circumstance, waiting on them to make the decision, because that was stunting my own growth. So let's talk about high performance habits and what Brendon says about drawing your own circle. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you are feeling this type of content and you want to become a supporter of the show, Facebook has a fan page supporter option where you can actually support the show, $5 per month. I'll drop the link. You're going to get invited into my brand new Facebook group called Hustle Nation, where you're going to get exclusive content, more in-depth conversations like this, group coaching, and the whole 9 yards. So make sure you comment Hustle Nation so I can get you guys that link to help you in that area. So Sandra says, so what did you do to break out or to change? That's what we're about to get into. Sandra, we're about to get into that right now. So this quote from Jack Canfield says, make a conscious effort to surround yourself with positive, nourishing, and uplifting people. People who believe in you, encourage you to go after your dreams, and applaud your victories, right? Now, here's what's key. It's not about violently tearing yourself away from these people. That's not what it's about, right? Because like I said, these people have a place in your life. They mean something to you, and I get that, right? But what it's more about is subtraction by addition. It is like, hey, the first law of physics says no two things can occupy the same space at the same time. So as I start to go into different circles, then that means by default, I'm leaving one circle. And as I start spending more time in these other circles, I'm spending less time in these circles. Do I still go to the barbershop and sit for hours and chop it up? Absolutely. But I do that on my time. I do that intentionally and strategically, and I do it in small doses. Because I don't know about you guys, there's only so much negativity I can handle. There's only so much of the blame game I can handle. And a lot of times when you're getting around people who are not going anywhere, that's all they do is blame others for their failures. I can only handle so much of that, right? I can only handle so much of that. So I'm going to read you a couple passages right here. It says, instead of getting rid of all the negative people in your life, especially if they are family, friends, loyal peers, like they've been with you through some dark times, or those who are just in need, just start spending more time hanging out with your positive and successful peers and building new positive peer groups. So how do you start to build new positive peer groups? Guys, we are who we are because of three main things: the people we hang with, the places we go, and the content we consume. The books, the podcasts, the audios, all of that stuff has a very, very, very profound effect on who we be, right? We are human beings, and we be what we consume. That is our friendships, our relationships. That is the experiences from the places we go, and the content we consume. So here's number one. Here's the first thing that you could do to start transforming or redrawing your circle. And that is if you're trying to elevate and get around more positive people, get around more successful people, get around people who are like-minded and going places and doing the things you get. Number one, add one more awesome friend. And when I read this, I was like, man, this is so simple, but you'll see the power in it, because we are all 6 degrees of separation from some of the most incredible people on the planet. We just get comfortable, and, I get it. Making new friends and new relationships ain't easy. So we like to get comfortable and just stick with what we know. So number one, add one new awesome friend. To make a difference in your life, you don't need dozens of new friends. You need one more positive person who brings out the best in you. So find your most positive and successful friend. Watch this. Your most positive and successful friend, and ask him or her to bring one or two of his or her friends to your next night out. See, we all know this. It's like if I took my example, and my good friend Tobias wanted to transform, and he wanted to start doing more of this. So he would say, hey, Tiz, man, let's come hang out. And why don't you bring one of your network marketing or your online marketing friends with you? Now he's adding to his sphere, right? So who is your most successful and positive friend? And what we traditionally have done in the past is we let jealousy creep in, right? And because this is my friend and I see them elevating and them growing, and what's helping them elevate and grow, they hang out with this crowd over here, and I'm a little bit jealous of that crowd. And I'm like, man, don't hang with them, hang with me. No. Ask them to bring one or two of those people around so you can kind of get to know them and start to see why your new positive friends are hanging with them in the first place. So just add one new positive friend and start spending more time with them. So find your most positive and successful friend and ask him to bring one or two friends to your next out, your next night out. Then start hanging with them a little more often. Just a half hour more per week. One more positive person leads you one more step towards the good life. So that's one way to start redrawing your circle, right? Number two, you want to find some cool people to really run with that. And in most cases, most of the people in these areas are successful. They are very positive. Number two, volunteer. Volunteer. Volunteers are spirited, positive people. They are givers. You want to be around that spirit of service for your own personal and spiritual development anyway. So this is a new type of, if you don't hang around people who volunteer, you just need that kind of person in your life so you can understand the spirit of that, right? Because that's going to help you in your own personal journey, right? And then it says, often the people who staff nonprofit organizations, especially at the board and committee levels, are the richest people in the community. Those are the people who have success. Those are the people who have status. Those are the people who, even if you don't vibe with them, they can probably introduce you to other successful people that you do vibe with, right? Volunteering isn't just about getting around rich or more educated people. It's about serving others and developing the kind of empathy and spirit of service required to deal with all of your relationships in life. If you have a negative person who keeps getting under your skin, the perspective you gain about the world through volunteering might help you chill out a little bit. Man, that word empathy has really been surfacing in my life, for the last couple of years. It's something that Gary Vaynerchuk talks a lot about. This is why I don't get frustrated when people troll my accounts and they got negative stuff to say, man, because in order for you to take any amount of time out of your day and post something negative on somebody's post, that means you consumed a little bit of it and you didn't hear something you like and you got a negative comment. I feel sorry for you. I can empathize with the pain that you must be going through to do that. So I don't get mad. My sugar, on the other hand, she gonna kill somebody about her honey. So be careful of the negative posts you post on my stuff, right? No, I'm kidding. But you gotta deploy empathy, man. Even those people like my homeboys who they're doing great and they're living great lives, but I can't get mad at them for not wanting to do it my way, right? I got empathy for what they went through as children that led them down the path that makes them believe that this is the only option that they have. I can empathize with that. I can see how you could easily come to that conclusion. So I don't judge. I don't judge. Number 3, we're talking about putting yourself in different situations. And before I get to number 3, I got to show you guys and share with you guys a quick clip on the digital product Bootcamp. So if you, my friend, have not figured out how to take your gifts, talents, and special abilities and turn them into digital products that you can market, sell online, and build a brand around, then check this out. Hey, my friend, listen, you've got a gift, talent, and special ability. Why are you sitting on it and not turning it into a digital product so that you can market and sell it online? Hey, I'm H. Cortez, author of Monetize My Life, 4 incredibly simple ways to turn your passions into profits. And that's exactly what I do. I'm hosting a boot camp called the Digital Product Bootcamp that will teach you how to turn your gifts, talents, your intellectual capital into a digital product you can market and sell online. But guess what? Don't just take it from me. Let me let you hear from one of my students how excited she is about what this process has done for her.
Hey, Coach Cortez, it's me, Ariel. I just wanted to thank you for helping me to create my product this weekend and launch the product with the systems in place. Man, I'm just truly amazed. Like, I got 7 sales in 4 days, And I've been thinking to myself, why didn't I do this thing and launch this thing a long time ago? But nevertheless, it's launched, it's lit, it's hot. So I'm appreciative, I'm thankful, and I'm looking forward to creating more products and more success with you. Thank you so much.
Wow, 7 sales in 4 days. And then she sent me this text message where she got 2 more sales overnight. How would you like to turn your gifts, talents, special abilities, intellect into digital products that will allow you to wake up to new money every day? All you gotta do is click the link around this video to register for the Digital Products Bootcamp, and I hope to see you on the inside. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the sponsor for today's show. I just love helping people, man. And there's so many people walking around this planet struggling financially, and they are literally sitting on a gold mine between their ears, right? So if that is you, my friend, comment Digital Product Bootcamp, or just comment Bootcamp, and I'll get you the link to go check that out. So the third way that you can start introducing the right people in your circle is play sports. Play sports. It says, join that intramural league, visit the racquetball club, get that golf membership, hit the park and join more pickup games. Being in competitive situations teaches you to pay more attention to your own performance. And as we've learned, self-evaluation of performance promotes increased performance, right? Competition can bring out the best in us when we view the process as competing as a striving for excellence, personal best, and team contributions. It's only bad or maladaptive performance when all we care about is rank outcome or smashing the competition. Now, I know some of you guys are saying, well, Cortez, I'm not an athlete. Don't get me wrong. It's not about the athleticism or the sport as much as it is about competition and getting around new people. So for some of you guys, that might be, for me, it's playing basketball. I do stuff like that and I get a kick out of competing in that way. But if that's not you, then you might join a spades tournament, Bid Whiz group, Domino's club, where you get to compete and get them competitive juices flowing and then get to meet other people, right? And depending on the sport that you choose or the activity that you choose to go and learn and to compete, then think about it. Sports like golf are traditionally rich guy sports, wealthy folks sports. So if you got into that, then chances are you're going to meet some people who are on the up and up, right? In that area. And that's what it's all about, creating new networks, right? If I go play pickup basketball and I do that regularly, I'm going to run into some of the same guys. Then the goal becomes, how do I get that relationship to morph from that pickup basketball situation into a more, let's connect outside of the court. And I'm gonna give you my number one networking tip, right? Comes from the book, The Art of Dealing with People. And my number one networking tip, guys, when you wanna make a good first impression, let people know that you're impressed by them. Oh, some of y'all didn't catch that. I'm gonna rewind. If you want to make a good first impression, let people know that you are impressed by them. See, I know where this comes from. It comes from when we were young, and when we would give somebody a compliment, the people that we were running with, because they were negative in spirit, would say, man, get off that dude jock. And now giving somebody a compliment became a negative thing. And because, going back to mirror neurons, I wanted to fit in and be social and be part of the group and the clique. If the clique says it was bad to give people compliments, then we develop the habits of not letting people know that we're impressed by them, because we call it jock riding. I actually call it something else, but this is a family show, right? So if you want to make a good first impression and you take this advice and you go out and you become part of a club and you start, man, I saw something that was so cool the other day, man, on LinkedIn, a 40+ double dutch club. Man, when I tell you that brought so much joy to my spirit, it was a 40+ double dutch club. And everybody in the double dutch club got a t-shirt that says, 40+ double dutch club, whatever the name of the club is. But then on the back of their shirts, it had their age. And I was like, man, look at that 60-year-old lady getting it. Ooh, doing all the tricks and stuff that we used to see the little girls and tease the little girls when they would play double dutch at recess, right? Crazy. But when you meet somebody new, resist the temptation to get into competition with them. What I mean competition? Well, the minute somebody introduces themselves to you and what they do, by default, you're up trying to one-up them. Hey, man, it's nice to meet you. I'm Cortez. Hey, Cortez, my name is Rick. Hey, Rick, what do you do? Hey, I have a small business. Oh, man, I got a small business too, and we're doing big things. You got a family, Rick? Yeah, I got I got a wife and I got 2 sons. Oh, man, I got a wife and I got 5 sons. Any of your kids play sports? Yeah, my kid play basketball. Oh, my kid play basketball. He's on the college team. And we're starting to one up. No, just sit back and let that person know that's amazing, how amazing they are. You want to build a relationship with somebody? Encourage them to talk about themselves and take a genuine interest. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. So play sports, get yourself in those other environments. Number 4, seek mentorship. I tell high performers 1 or 2 things, to have 1 or 2 lifelong mentors, older, wiser, highly respected, successful people. I want you to call them once per month. I also want you to have 1 new domain mentor every 3 years. This means someone who has precisely the expertise you need to succeed in your life. You should also call that person once a month. So you got the old wise experience and you're calling them once a month. Then you have your domain. This is somebody who is in a particular lane that you're trying to get into or you're trying to get better in, and you got that person guiding you. That's what the Monetize My Life Academy Mastermind is all about. We in the digital marketing lane. That's just where I am, right? We're not even in the money lane. Even though I'm a financial educator, that ain't what that mastermind is about. That mastermind is all about digital marketing. And if you're trying to get better at digital marketing, that might be a good mastermind for you. Our pro level members get a monthly one-on-one. So they call me once a month, right? And I look at their business, what they're trying to do, and we help them explore the different options that they have available to them, right? So seek mentorship. And in your seeking of the mentorship, you will then see other people who are being mentored by this person, right? Especially if it's in a mastermind community. I'm blown away when I see the members of my mastermind connecting one another outside of the mastermind. And I'm like, man, that's so dope, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Then number 5, you want to get around some winners. You want to get around some successful people. You want to get around some millionaires. You want to get around some people who really got it going on. Earn it. Number 5 is earn it. You want to get around successful people, then earn your way into the party by becoming exceptional at what you do. Work hard. Practice the high performance habits. Never give up. add a tremendous amount of value, and stay on the path to mastery. When you become supremely skilled and successful at what you do, doors will open and you will meet more and more extraordinary people. Earn it. Earn it. You want to get around some winners? Earn it. The Cortez Hustle Show is me earning it. Because the more successful the show get, the more I have to offer to more successful people. Right? I think Dr. Frazier was the biggest internationally known guest that I've had on the show. I earned that. And when we got off the show and beyond the stream, we had a conversation. He said, bro, let's stay in touch. I love what you're doing. I earned that. I said, well, do me one favor. Do you know any other people in your network that need a good platform to tell their story and get a little bit more marketing? He said, I absolutely do. I'll send them your way. Now I've done what we did in number one. Number one said, I want to add one connection. And then I'm going to ask that connection. I'm going to take my best and most successful person and ask that person to bring a few more of their people to the table. Now we are connected on LinkedIn because of his guest appearance on the show. Now, when my LinkedIn connections, I'm getting LinkedIn requests like crazy because they saw that I earned a connection with an internationally known best-selling author and speaker. So I earned it. And now my connections are growing. So you want to get around successful people? Earn it. And those are the 5 tips to helping you redraw your circle. Now, my friends, we've got to get to the question of the day. If you have not answered the question of the day is, if today was your last day on earth, would your plans for today change? Let's see if anybody answered the question of the day. Let's see. I know I saw a few answers. Glenda says, I would definitely do the same thing I am doing now if this were my last day. I love the beauty industry. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see. So you guys, if you put QOTD, it makes it easier for me to find your responses. Makes it easier for me to find your responses. I know a couple other people answered the question of the day. Whenever you see greatness in public, it's a consequence of hunger in private. Yes. Let's see. All right. So put QOTD and leave your answer to the question. If today was your last day on earth, would you be doing something different, or would your plans change? I have to say my plans would change. My morning would start the same. No doubt about it. My morning would start the same. I would still be here for you guys. My morning routine, gratitude, thanks, starting with something positive in my day. But probably after this show, everything after that would change, right? Because I wanted to tell some people that I love them, whom I may not have told in a while. I want to experience much as I can. I want to make sure I hold my wife's hands and I look into her eyes. And that's stuff that we take for granted that we don't do regularly. But if I knew this was my last day on earth, there's certain things that I will make sure I do that's not in my daily plans. So yeah, my plans would definitely change if today was my last day on earth. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the question of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. And that brings us to the top of the hour. So until I talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.